He was supposed to be the one, the player destined to take over football after Messi and Ronaldo, the kid from Brazil who made defenders look ridiculous and turned impossible skills into art. At just 25 years old, he had already won the Champions League, become the most expensive player in history, and had the world at his feet. But today, when people talk about Neymar, they don't talk about Ballon d'Ors or a World Cup. Instead, they ask one question: what happened to Neymar? Because this isn't the story of a failed footballer. It's the story of one of the greatest talents the game has ever seen, and how football's brightest prince never became its king. Long before the fame and headlines, Neymar was a teenage sensation at Santos. In Brazil, fans believed they were watching the next Pelé. His dribbling, flair, and confidence made him unlike anyone else. Europe came calling, and in 2013, he joined Barcelona. Suddenly, football had its next superstar. Playing alongside Lionel Messi and Luis Suárez, Neymar formed one of the most terrifying attacks in football history. The legendary MSN trio dominated Europe and won the Champions League in 2015. Neymar wasn't just a sidekick. He was extraordinary. Many believed it was only a matter of time before he became the best player in the world. But there was one problem. No matter how brilliant he was, he lived in Messi's shadow, and Neymar wanted more. He wanted his own team, his own legacy, and his own Ballon d'Or. So in 2017, he made a decision that shocked football. Paris Saint-Germain paid a world record €222 million to bring him to Paris. It wasn't just a transfer, it was a statement. PSG weren't buying a player. They were buying the future king of football. And at first, everything looked perfect. Neymar was unstoppable. But then, the injuries started. A broken foot, an ankle problem, another setback, and another, and another. Every season seemed to follow the same pattern. Brilliant performances, then months on the sidelines. Just when he looked ready to conquer Europe, football would pull him back again. Despite incredible numbers, critics grew louder. People questioned his commitment, his lifestyle, his parties, and his mentality. Even though he helped PSG reach the Champions League final in 2020, the dream slipped away. And while Neymar battled injuries, another star emerged. Kylian Mbappé became the face of the project. The player who was supposed to inherit football's throne was no longer the center of attention. Meanwhile, with Brazil, the pressure was even greater. An entire nation expected him to bring back the World Cup. But heartbreak followed heartbreak. In 2014, injury cruelly ended his tournament. In 2018, Brazil fell again. And in 2022, another dream ended in tears. Despite becoming Brazil's all-time leading scorer, the one trophy that mattered most always escaped him. Then, in 2023, Neymar left Europe and joined Al Hilal. Some believed it was the start of a fresh chapter. But football had one more cruel twist waiting. While playing for Brazil, Neymar suffered a devastating ACL injury. Another comeback, another rehabilitation, another battle. And suddenly, the player who was once expected to dominate football for a decade was fighting simply to play again. So what happened to Neymar? Did injuries steal his greatness? Did expectations become too heavy? Or was he simply unlucky enough to spend his career in the era of Messi and Ronaldo? Because here's the truth. Neymar won trophies. He produced unforgettable moments. He inspired millions. And on his day, there were very few players in history more entertaining to watch. Maybe that's why his story feels so tragic. Not because he failed, but because everyone saw something extraordinary. A player capable of becoming one of the greatest of all time. And even now, football fans around the world still ask the same painful question. What if Neymar had stayed healthy?